Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video today we'll react to 101 facts about Sweden. So I'll be doing quite a few reaction videos to Sweden, so I should know some of the facts. Obviously 101 facts, so I'm definitely going to learn something new. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go subscribe to the original creator. Their link will be down in the description down below. But let's get right into it for today, my friend. Let's go.
This is Jag Sam, and today I'm here to talk to you all about the Scandinavian sensation, the Nordic nonpareil, the freezing phenomenon that is Sweden. Sweden has contributed so much good to the world, much of it spherical. Confused? Well, I guess you'll have to keep watching to find out what I mean, won't you? But why do Swedish people regularly scream out of their windows? Why does Sweden import rubbish from Norway? And is the Swedish chef the king or president of Sweden? I should really learn more about international politics. Anyway, 2 out of 3 of those questions are going to be answered, so get comfortable on your stocks and armchair, grab yourself some surströmming and salt licorice.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Why do Swedish people, if they do that, scream out their window? Like, what was the cause for that?
And prepare to be Swedenated right up the Jacksea with 101 facts about Sweden. Mycket bra.
Okay, yeah, there should be terrible pronunciation.
Number 1.
He's not
Sweden,
Swedish,
known
I believe.
officially as the Kingdom of Sweden, is a Scandinavian country in Northern Europe. Are you with me so far? Yes, good. The rest of the video would be a bit of a slog if you weren't, frankly. Number 2. Sweden is nicely sandwiched between Norway to the west and north and Finland to the east. Sweden is also connected to Denmark to the southwest by a bridge tunnel across a super narrow strip of water known as the Øresund. Number 3.
So in fact
Sweden
I know
is generally
so far.
divided into 3 distinct regions, which are stacked on top of one another vertically like the sections of a fab. The southernmost region is Jutland, Svealand is found in the middle, and Norrland sits atop the north. Sorry if I mispronounce anything like that, because, apparently I mispronounce things all the bloody time.
That makes sense. Norrland, North. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm according to the comments section. Number 4. At a hefty 450,295 square kilometres, Sweden is the 3rd largest country in the European Union by area, behind Spain in 2nd place and France, which takes the gold medal. Number 5. Sweden has a total population of roughly 10 million people. Interestingly, around 2.3 million of those people have a foreign background, meaning that almost a quarter of all Swedes have recent ancestry from outside the country.
Okay, I knew the
Number
10 million
6.
population, but I didn't know about the 2.3 million
population density
part.
of only 22 inhabitants per square kilometre. The highest concentration of people is in the southern half of the country, i.e. most of Jutland and Svealand. Furthermore, roughly 85% of the population of Sweden lives in urban areas. Number 7. The modern Swedish word for Sweden is Sverige. Sverige, which simply means realm of the Swedes. Pretty simple.
Svaria. I probably said that wrong, but I've seen it written down before, but I haven't heard it pronounced before, so I've heard that word. I've seen it.
Unlike IKEA instructions. Ho-ho! Zing! Got you there. Oh, it's probably racist for me to mention IKEA, but there we go. Number 8. There is evidence to suggest that people have been living in what is now known as Sweden since as early as 12,000 BC.
Wow.
Sweden first emerged as an independent state much later on during the early 12th century. In the year 1280, King Magnus Ladulus issued a statute which established a nobility and granted them numerous rights and privileges, including freedom from taxation. Oh dear, typical posh boy. I shouldn't pay any tax because I've got loads of money. Number 9. A couple of centuries later, the population of Sweden was decimated by the Black Death. Oh, classic Black Death.
That's not
which
good.
killed 2/3 of the Swedish population. At this point, Scandinavia's culture, finances and languages came under threat from a powerful merchant association called the German Hanseatic League. In response, the kingdoms of Sweden, Norway and Denmark joined together under a single monarch in 1397, creating what was known as the Kalmar Union. The Kalmar Union lasted almost 130 years until Sweden rage quit in 1523, becoming a strong, independent country that don't need no man in a crown. Number 10.
Okay, I'd like to learn more about the Kalmar Union. That definitely seems very interesting, so I'll probably do another reaction video about that. That definitely has a lot of rich history there, and it's kind of a rabbit hole I kind of would like to go down.
In 1630, Sweden decided to get involved in the religious conflict known as the 30 Years' War, which had already been raging for years. The Swedish involvement snatched the Protestant side a victory from the Catholic jaws of defeat, and resulted in a significant decline of Catholicism in Northern Europe. At this point, Sweden had solidified its position as one of the great powers of Europe, which lasted for hundreds of years after. Siffra 11. In the year 1658, oh, remember that, what a great year it was. The sea between Sweden and Denmark froze over so completely that 9,000 Swedish soldiers and their horses literally walked across frozen water and besieged Copenhagen. Number 12. Unfortunately for the Swedes, during the 18th and 19th centuries, Sweden began to lose many of their territories outside the Scandinavian peninsula, culminating in the annexation of what is now Finland by Russia in 1809. Oh, poor Finns. Number 13. The last war in which Sweden was directly involved flared up in 1814, when Denmark was forced to cough up Norway, which was forced into a union with Sweden which lasted until 1905, at which point it was peacefully dissolved.
That's quite a long time ago.
Since 1841, Sweden maintained an official policy of neutrality in foreign affairs, meaning that it's been at peace for over 200 years, even throughout both world wars. Number 14.
See, I mean, being at peace for 200 years, not partaking in any world wars and stuff like that, that definitely seems like a good idea. I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out for the future, but 200 years without any wars, partaking in any wars, that is really good.
That being said, although Sweden was officially neutral in both World War I and II, the country did engage in humanitarian efforts. During the Second World War, Sweden took in refugees from German-occupied Europe, including almost all of Denmark's Jews, who Hitler, and I'm going to say it, that dick, had ordered to be arrested and deported to concentration camps. However, Sweden also allowed the Nazis to use their railways to transport arms and troops and traded with Germany throughout World War II, so it's a bit of a mixed bag of should we help the Nazis or not? Number 15.
See, that's a bit of a complicated issue because they helped out a lot of Jewish people, which is definitely very good, especially during World War II. But I feel like if they said no to the Nazis, it could have got them involved in World War II. So I don't really know about that. So someone probably has to explain that a bit more in depth to me. But yeah, I don't think in that situation you could really say no to them without like them being involved.
1850s to the 1930s, roughly 1.5 million Swedish people emigrated to North America. The population of Sweden in that period was never more than 3.5 million, so that's really saying something. Most America-bound Swedes ended up in Minnesota, where the American-Swedish Institute is located in the state capital of Minneapolis.
Yeah, I remember another video covering that about Minnesota.
After the Cold War
Swedish
ended,
people.
Sweden joined the European Union on the 1st of January 1995, but also chose not to adopt the euro and also declined NATO membership. Oh, those rebels. Number 17. Sweden is home to over 95,000 lakes larger than 100 square meters. That's over 9.5 million square meters of lake, people. I'm trying to make this sound impressive, but I genuinely have no idea how much lake is a lot of lake. Number 18.
It definitely sounds like a lot of lake.
The Åland Islands, an archipelago located at the entrance of the Gulf of Bothnia, are officially part of Finland, but are home to a Swedish-speaking minority who have their own government, flag, and culture. Number 19. Because of its proximity to the Arctic Circle, Sweden regularly experiences long, dark winters, which can lead to some of its citizens to suffer from seasonal affective disorder. As such, some bus stops in Sweden have been fitted with phototherapy lights to combat the effect of barely seeing the sun for months on end. Number 20. Sweden.
Yeah, I know, like, Sweden has, like, summers where it don't get dark till, like, extremely late, and sometimes it's just kind of light all day and all night, so that's kind of crazy. And then they have these winters where it's mainly just darkness, so that is really interesting. I find that just crazy. Like, imagine that it's always dark in winter. I can see why people get sad, because some people love the sunlight. It kind of brings them happiness, so I can definitely see that effect. And a lot of people, especially over here, we kind of get darkness, like it gets dark about 4 p.m, but it's nowhere near what I've heard it's like in Sweden.
Sweden's northernmost town is Kiruna, and is located well within the Arctic Circle. The town is so far north, in fact, it does this really mental thing where the sun does not set at all certain times of the year.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Subsequently, doesn't rise at all for most of December. Number 21. Nowadays, Sweden is renowned for its Nordic social welfare system. Swedish citizens enjoy universal healthcare and university education entirely free of charge at point of use. Wow, that's good. I like that a lot. However, this comes at the price of high taxes. And with a tax rate of over 50% of GDP, Swedish people are among the most highly taxed in the world. However, most Swedes seem to be fairly happy with the situation. In fact, the Swedish word for tax is skatt, which doesn't mean anything fancy. It means treasure.
Oh, okay.
Number 23. Since
I mean, yeah, that means something completely different in English. But I feel like if you're paying high taxes, but you're actually getting the benefits, I know I said that in another video, then it's kind of worth it. It's better than paying higher taxes like a lot of countries, and you have to pay for university education at high rates. You don't have free healthcare. So, yeah, and you're still paying quite high taxes. Then you're kind of getting screwed.
No one, the Nobel Prizes have been awarded every year in Sweden to honour excellence in various fields, with modern categories including physics, medicine, literature, peace, and YouTube fact videos. I hope to collect my statuette this year. As of last year, almost 585 prizes have been awarded to 923 people and organisations. Number 24. In case you didn't know, the Nobel Prizes are the legacy of Alfred Nobel, who left a massive amount of money in his will to the establishment of the Nobel Prize. Oh, and also he invented dynamite in 1866.
Yeah, I saw that in another video
I don't know what that coyote from Looney Tunes would do without you. Number 25. Sweden has managed to accrue 7 Nobel Prizes for literature, including the first woman to win the prize, Selma Lagerlöf, who won in 1909. Morbacka, a large mansion in west central Sweden, has a national shrine and memorial to Lagerlöf.
Wow,
Number
that's
26.
nice.
But it's not just writing that Swedes have done good at. A number of important inventions and innovations are Swedish in origin. The pacemaker, the refrigerator, the ultrasound, the astronomical lens and computer mouse were invented in Sweden or by Swedes living abroad. So without the Swedes, you wouldn't be able to see your baby and paste it all.
I mean, a lot of great inventions. The refrigerator, something everyone uses. The pacemaker, that literally saves lives. The computer mouse, I'm literally using that right now. So obviously a lot of great inventions right there.
All over Facebook. Oh, I'm having a baby. Yeah, we get it, Chan. Number 27. To date, Sweden has won 636.5 Olympic medals in total. The half a medal, which you may be thinking, about, is due to the fact that at the 1900 Olympics in Paris, Sweden competed alongside Denmark in a tug-of-war with France, and Sweden-Mark won the gold.
Oh, okay.
Number 28. Of course, no discussion about Sweden would be complete without mentioning everyone's favourite international sensation, that is IKEA. Did you know that everyone's favourite purveyor of Scandi design also sells roughly 1,836,000 meatballs across the globe every single day? No?
I knew
Well,
they
you
sold a
do
lot,
now.
but that is a
Do
lot
that
more than I was
information as you
expecting
wish.
every day.
Eat it up like a meatball. Number
A
29.
million meatballs a day, that's
In
crazy.
2006, IKEA opened up a store in Haparanda, a municipality in Sweden, in the most northerly county of Norrbotten, making it the northernmost IKEA in the world. Temperatures there regularly drop to minus double digits during the winter, so I think I'll just go to the one in Croydon, thanks very much. Number 30. Speaking of Haparanda, the town is so close to the Finnish town of Tornio that they share the same post office with 2 separate phone lines, one for calls to Sweden and one for calls to Finland. Number 31. Similarly, there's a golf club on the border of Sweden and Finland with half the holes in one country and half in the other. You probably have to bring a passport to go. Oh, security would be awful, wouldn't it? Number 32.
That's really cool. I know there's something like that in the United States where if you cross a line, you're in a different country. So I've seen something like that before, but I've never seen the Sweden and Finland golf course. That seems like a lot of fun.
Seatbelt is also a Swedish invention too, and is said to have saved 1 million lives. It was first introduced in 1959 by Volvo, and today are found in billions of vehicles worldwide. Number 33. The world's largest scale model of the solar system can be found in Sweden. The sun is represented by the Ericsson globe, with the models of various planets, celestial bodies and solar features dotted around the country at a maximum distance of 950 kilometers across. And yet, the model has a scale roughly 1 to 20 million. Wow. Space really is huge. We could have a video about space. What? We already do? What a coincidence. Watching after this one. Number 34. Possibly Sweden's most celebrated scientist is Carl Linnaeus, who was born in the countryside of Småland in southern Sweden in 1707. Linnaeus is best known for creating the formal system of naming organisms known to bionormal classification, which enables all plants and animals to be consistently named and classified, which, you know, is helpful in science. Linnaeus himself created the term Homo sapiens, so in a way, he named all of us. He also called you a homo, so you gonna take that? Well, actually, that's probably... Number 35. Sweden's Uppsala University has in its possession a famous 4th century Bible, known as the Silver Bible, which is considered by many to be one of the world's most valuable books. The Silver Bible is an incomplete version of the New Testament written in ancient Gothic language using silver and gold ink. It's pretty much the most blinged and pimped out Bible you'll ever come across. Blood? Oh, why did I say blood at the end? I ruined it. Number 36. One of history's...
That's a really cool artifact. I wonder how much it's worth. I kind of wish you said the amount.
Most popular video games, world building simulator Minecraft, was created by Swedish programmer Marcus Notch.
Yeah, I did know that. I did know that.
First released in 2011, the game has since sold more than 144 million copies, making it the second best-selling game of all time after Tetris. Tax Sweden.
Minecraft is
Number
a great
37.
game. I do like
The Swedes are
Minecraft.
also behind the uber-popular freemium mobile game Candy Crush. Swedish games development company King has had their game downloaded almost 500 million
I didn't know Candy Crush was invented in Sweden. What? By a Swedish company? That's really surprising. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Candy Crush. I've played it. It's okay. But my mum used to be addicted to this. She used to love Candy Crush.
times, and in 2013, the game generated a staggering $1.5 billion in sales.
Wow.
That's 11.8 billion Swedish krona. Number 38. You can also thank Sweden for its massive contribution to the world of music in the form of one band, Bass Hunter. Oh, nope, sorry, I mean ABBA. The group has
Yeah,
sold over
ABBA's
375
great.
million records worldwide, which, depending on who you ask, makes them the third or fourth best-selling music act in history. What an
I didn't know
interesting fact
that.
it is. Does your mother know? Oh, okay.
I mean, I knew ABBA were huge. I mean, everyone likes ABBA at least one song, but the third or fourth best-selling act in music history, I didn't know they were that popular.
Number 39. ABBA are remembered even today for not only their extensive catalogue of bangers, but also the ridiculous outfits they wore during their spectacular live performances. The members of ABBA have since revealed they wore these wacky costumes primarily to avoid Sweden's taxes, which allowed deductions for clothing if it wasn't meant for everyday use.
That's kind of
That's
genius.
the name of the game. ABBA's, it doesn't matter.
That is genius.
Number 40. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm, a city built on 12 islands and over 50 bridges, leading it to being given the nickname the Venice of the North. To be fair, basically anywhere with enough water gets that nickname. Cue all the people from Birmingham saying, oh, we have more canals than Venice. No one cares, Birmingham. Alright? Number 41. Stockholm is also home to Skansen, the world's first open-air museum, opened all the way back in 1891. Skansen depicts examples of Swedish rural life from various time periods between the 16th century and 20th century, and attracts more than 1.3 million visitors each year. Meningen medlivet. In an attempt to make obeying the speed limit fun, which is possibly the most boring string of words I could have ever uttered, Stockholm tested a speed camera lottery which automatically entered speed limit-abiding drivers into a prize pool funded by the fines paid by those caught speeding.
Oh, that's pretty cool,
karma's
actually.
gonna get ya. Number 43. One interesting Stockholm phenomenon is the tradition of the Flogsta Scream, in which the denizens of Flogsta, a residential area in Stockholm, stick their heads out of windows at 10 PM every Tuesday and scream their little Swedish lungs out for several minutes. This is done to relieve the stress caused by university exams, although that sounds like it causes more stress than it solves. Number 44.
I kind of think that's good to relieve stress, but imagine being ill, you have a headache, and then all your neighbours are outside screaming out their window. Yeah, you'd be a bit annoyed, but I guess it don't last that long, so it kind of helps relieve stress. So, I don't know, it's kind of an interesting thing, but yeah, so I guess it's probably a part of their culture, so that's a bit different to me.
Stockholm is renowned for its colourful art-covered metro stations. More than 90 of the 100 stations have been covered in mosaics, paintings, sculptures and carvings, meaning it's been dubbed the world's longest art gallery.
That looks awesome.
Number 45. Greta Garbo, you know, the legendary Hollywood actress and Swede, which is why we mention her, had her first job as a sales assistant in the hat section of the pub department store at the Hotoket City Square in Stockholm. She later starred in over 30 films and spent most of her life in the US before dying in New York City in 1990, like one classy bee. I hope I die in NYC. Or Norwich, whichever's easiest. Number 46. Stockholm also boasts the largest hemispherical building in the world. Known as the Ericsson Globe, which we mentioned earlier, the building stands proudly at 85 metres high with a diameter of 110 metres. Number 47. Stockholm also has an entire museum dedicated to ABBA, which I've been to actually, which allows visitors to gaze upon all manner of ABBA memorabilia.
That would be
such
cool to
as the
visit.
band's numerous gold records and aforementioned wacky wardrobe pieces. The stated goal of the museum is to let the patrons experience the feeling of being the fifth member of ABBA, which it facilitates by allowing you to get on stage with sophisticated holograms of the band. I nearly did that as well, but my girlfriend told me not to. Number 48.
I mean, that would be really cool to visit that ABBA museum. I mean, they have holograms, you can kind of partake in that. I could not sing to save my life, but I think it'd be really fun to visit, kind of see all their plaques, see the history of the bands. Definitely really cool.
Northern Sweden is home to the Indigenous Sami people, whose ancestral homeland, Sapmi, known in English as Lapland, stretches over the top of the Scandinavian peninsula, across Norway, Sweden, Finland and even Russia. Sweden specifically has around 20,000 Sami people, who even have had their own parliament. Number 49. Famous people with Sami ancestry include actress Renee Zellweger and singer Joni Mitchell. They're a
Okay,
talented
that's
bunch,
cool.
apparently. Number 50. The Sami people are also known for their joiks. No, I didn't just slip on something when I said that last word. Joiks are a form of traditional Sami song that are meant to evoke the essence of something, such as a person, a place, or event. Though the tradition has existed for a very long time, nowadays joiks have been brought to the mainstream, with them even being performed on Sweden's Got Talent.
Oh, I kind of need to listen to some of that. It sounds quite
Contrary to
interesting.
our puny 4 seasons, the Sami year traditionally has a total of 8, each connected to the annual cycle involving the process of reindeer herding. Number 52. The majestic moose is widely considered to be the most dangerous animal in Sweden, likely because they cause approximately 6,000 road accidents in Sweden every single year. Number 53. Between 30,000...
That's a lot of road accidents. So they must always be going on the road, and I guess you're trying to swerve and avoid them, and then you may end up crashing, so that's kind of bad.
400,000 moose roam the Swedish countryside. During the annual hunt, in which around 250,000 people participate and is said to have almost religious status in Sweden, as many as 100,000 moose are shot every year. God, no wonder they cause car accidents. I'd be angry if I was them as well.
That's really
Number
sad,
54.
actually. That's kind of sad.
The danger of moose-related car crashes is so severe that Sweden even requires cars to pass a moose test. Cars must be able to swerve very quickly around a hypothetical moose without flipping over, in the apparently very likely event that a moose should appear suddenly in the middle of the road. Number
That's kind of
55.
good they have that on their test.
In reality, however, moose...
Because if it is a common occurrence, you should be trained in case that does happen to you. So that's actually cool they incorporate in their test. Because, yeah, if a moose came out in the road, I'd be swerving and probably crash. So it's kind of smart.
are far from being the
What they're
deadliest
doing
animal
there.
in Sweden. That honour goes to the evil little literal pricks known as wasps.
Oh, I hate wasps.
Kill more people directly, rather than causing car accidents, than any other animal in Sweden, slaughtering roughly one highly allergic person a year.
Oh, one
Number
ain't that bad.
56. There
But
are
it's
also
still
roughly
not good.
250 wolves roaming around in rural Sweden. Swedish wolves mainly chow down on moose, and one family of Swedish wolves can kill as many as 120 moose per year. They're a protected species though, and it's against the law to kill them unless they repeatedly attack humans or property. So just be cool, wolves. Just be cool and no one has to get hurt.
Yeah,
No one
just
has to go
don't
leave
mess
from
with
the
me,
brain
you'll be
to you.
fine.
Number 57. There are approximately 260,000 reindeer in Sweden, and are a traditional source of meat for many communities, especially in the very north of the country. Reindeer milk apparently tastes sweet, and is said to look like melted ice cream. I'll be the judge of that, perhaps, one day when I visit again.
Reindeer milk? I mean, I can't knock it until I've tried it, but as a sentence, that does sound crazy. But you never know, it may actually be really nice.
This year?
But that does sound crazy.
Number 58. Swedish is the official language of Sweden, but the country officially protects 5 other minority languages. Finnish, spoken by the Finnish minority of Sweden. Meänkieli, a separate dialect of Finnish spoken mostly in Sweden. Sami, the language of the Sami people. Romani, the language of the Romani people. And Yiddish, a Jewish language originating in Germany. Number 59. The Swedish language is known for its notable similarity to Norwegian and Danish. Owing to their common history, many people consider the 3 languages to be more of a language spectrum, as each one is at least somewhat mutually intelligible with the others. As such, it's often said by learning either Swedish, Norwegian or Danish, one is actually learning all 3. Number 60.
I know their languages
In many
have a lot of
ways, the
similarities.
Swedish tongue is the Zooey Deschanel of languages, in that it's adorably yet irritatingly quirky. One Swedish word that is spelled the same as the English is gift, but is pronounced jeft and has 2 separate meanings, the first of which means married. Ah. The second definition is poison. Oh.
Completely different.
Not only that, the Swedish word for good
definitions.
is bra, the word kiss means urine, and their word for end is slut.
I've
Creating
heard
an
of
unfortunate
slut.
situation in which
I remember
the
that in
Swedish term
another
for the
video I
final
did,
stop of a bus or
reaction.
train route is a slut station. I think I've been on that website before, actually. Number 61. The Swedish term lagom doesn't have a direct equivalent in English. The word refers to things that are just right, like Goldilocks. As in, Goldilocks said just right. Goldilocks wasn't just right. Oh, God. The term
Oh, I kind of like that word. I like that. That's a good word to have. Lagom, just right. I probably need to start adopting that when I do these Swedish reactions. Lagom, I like that a lot.
term can be used for just about anything and has even captured the imagination of outsiders with the same tedious inevitability that brought the Danish notion of hygge, 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 hidji to our shores. Number 62. A number of Swedish words have made it to the English language. Possibly the most well-known is moped, a portmanteau of motor and pedal. Other examples
Okay.
include ombudsman, orienteering, and tungsten, which literally means heavy stone. Number 63. According to the Swedish Academy, the longest word in the Swedish language is... Oh god, here we go. Realisationsvinstbeskattning, which translates to capital gains tax. Oh, Sweden. You've got nothing on...
That's a super long word to describe capital gains tax. Like, I need to go back and see that one more time.
Which translates to capital... Oh god, here we go. Realisationsvinstbeskattning, which translates
that's
to
really hard to
capital gains
pronounce.
Tax. Oh, Sweden. You've got nothing on Germany, my friends. Nintendo 64. There is a remote valley in Sweden where people still speak an ancient dialect of Old Norse called Elfdalian. It's considered by many to be the closest language to that spoken hundreds of years ago by the Vikings, and up until the 1900s, it was still written using runes. Number 65.
That's nice that part of their
Almost
history
90%
lives
of
on,
people
though.
in Sweden speak English, which is good for us British Philistines abroad. British people, by and large, do not speak Swedish, but guess what, Sweden? We don't have to. Although I am trying to learn, because I do have relatives over there and I want to speak to them. Number 66. One of the most internationally renowned Swedish dishes consists of Swedish meatballs served with mashed potato, gravy, and lingonberry jam.
I'm getting hungry right now.
You can get it at every IKEA restaurant, and frankly, it's the main reason I go to IKEA. Number 67. An interesting aspect of Swedish culture is that of fika. Fika essentially refers to taking a coffee break, and is usually accompanied with pastries and light conversation. It's such an important part of Swedish life that many companies give employees 2 daily fika breaks a day. That's what daily means, I don't know why I said that twice.
Yeah, I've done a lot of reaction videos to Sweden, and a few of them have mentioned fika. There's definitely something I need to try. Just have a nice break, have a nice cake or what they have, and kind of just relax.
Number 68. Absolute Vodka, currently owned by Pernod Ricard, used to belong to the Swedish government. It was sold to the French company in 2008 for $8.3 billion.
Wow.
Number 69. Slutdecision. When the Yuletide season swings around in Sweden, Coca-Cola sales can drop sometimes more than 50% due to the tradition of drinking julmust, a Swedish Christmas soft drink created as an alternative for beer. Number 70.
Really? That's like the opposite of over here. I feel like Coca-Cola sales increase dramatically over here during Christmas, because Coke always goes out with their adverts. They always have that truck that travels around London, around the United Kingdom. And I know it's huge in America, but Coke kind of makes a lot of their sales during Christmas, I thought. So seeing it be the opposite in Sweden, that is extremely surprising.
Traditional Swedish Christmas drink is glögg, which is 100% the most unappetizing name for a beverage ever conceived. Glögg is mulled wine poured over aquavit, a clear caraway-flavoured liquor, and then set on fire, because why not? It's traditional, by the way, to make sure the flame is out before drinking it.
Makes sense.
Singeing your eyebrows or burning your face off. Number 71. If you were wondering, what the Swedish hell is aquavit? You're in luck, because I'm about to tell you. Aquavit is a strong Scandinavian liquor of about 40% alcohol. Its name is derived from the Latin aqua vitae, which means water of life, which shows how troubling the alcoholism epidemic really is. Number 72. The famous Swedish smorgasbord, which involves a meal made up of many different individual dishes laid out on a table, i.e. a Scandinavian buffet, originated as a peasant custom where whole villages would collectively celebrate the harvest with roast game, as well as boiled potatoes and turnips, fresh smoked or pickled fish, meatballs, pancakes, and soups. Number 73. Swedish cuisine is also notable for a particularly infamous dish known as surströmming, which is Swedish for sour herring. Ugh. Surströmming consists of Baltic herring that has been fermented in tins for weeks on end, resulting in an odour so pungently foul.
Yeah, I've done a reaction video about Swedish food, and this
If
came
that's not
up.
an indicator that shows why it shouldn't be served as food, I don't know what is, those crazy Swedes. Number 74. In 2016...
That's something I would try, but I cannot imagine a world where that tastes nice.
The Swedish Tourist Association created the Swedish number, a phone number which randomly connects callers to Swedish people who have signed up to be the ambassadors for their country. Participants are deliberately given no training or instructions on how to behave, with the idea that the random nature of the hotline, dubbed Call a Swede, provides callers with an unfiltered view of Swedish life.
That's kind of cool.
Funnily enough, I know this because Jennifer Lawrence gave me this phone number as her own. Number 75. Similarly, Sweden has an official Twitter account which is managed on a week-to-week basis by a Swedish citizen, with the aim of promoting Sweden to the world. The project has inspired a number of similar accounts, such as @WeAreAustralia and @PeopleOfLeeds. Number 76. Sweden.
No way they let a random Swedish citizen run their actual Twitter account. After this video, I'm actually going to go check that out, because there's no... I need to see this for myself. Maybe it's like a one-time thing, but after this video, I'm definitely checking out their Twitter account.
It even has a national font, Sweden Sans. The design of the snazzy sans serif Swedish typeface was designed to unambiguously represent Sweden in the world. Well, that's what Sweden looks like, apparently. Number 77. Another slightly odd but intriguing Swedish tradition is that of the crayfish party, in which large groups of people get together and, as the name suggests, eat a crapload of crayfish. Sounds cray. Doesn't matter. This is because the harvesting of crayfish used to be restricted to a certain part of year around August and September. So seafood-loving Swedes would take advantage of the opportunity to eat a crapload of crayfish, and did just that, resulting in a fun Swedish tradition that must be fun if you're not, I don't know, allergic to seafood. In which case, just don't do it. Number 78. In the Swedish town of Gävle, a decades-long battle continues to rage at Christmas time, where many of the residents get together to build a giant straw goat, symbolising the goats that pull Santa's sleigh. Oh yeah, sorry, by the way, I should have said, in Sweden, goats pull Santa's sleigh, not reindeer, just go with it. Anyway, other residents who identify more with Sweden's pagan history view the large goat as akin to the two goats that pull the chariot of the Norse god Thor, who would burn and eat them every night only for them to be resurrected the next morning. Don't see that in the movies, do ya? As such, half the town builds the goat, and the other tries to burn it down. Unsurprisingly, the goat burns most years.
So wait, do they believe the goats can fly? I'm kind of curious about that, actually, because obviously people believe Santa's sleigh is pulled by the flying reindeers. So do they believe it's pulled by regular goats, flying goats? That is very strange to me.
Number 79. One iconic symbol of Sweden is that of the Dalekarlion, or Dala horse, which are carved wooden horses that originate children's toys from the Swedish province of Dalarna. They have since become a widespread cultural icon, and are often given as gifts to visiting celebrities such as Bill Clinton, Bob Hope, and Elvis Presley. They are produced in a wide variety of designs, but the most common form is painted in a distinctive bright red. Number 80. Sweden legalised homosexuality in 1944 and in 1972 became the first country in the world to allow transgender people to change their legal gender. The Swedes appear to be a fairly loving and accepting bunch. As of 2013, a whopping 81% of people in Sweden supported the rights for gay, lesbian and bisexual people to marry. Haha, yeah, go Sweden! Number 81. In 1979, Sweden became the first country in the world to ban the smacking of children. Since then, over 30 other countries have done the same. Personally, I don't see what all the fuss is about.
Wow, Sweden was ahead on a lot of stuff.
Fine. I mean, actress Jennifer Lawrence has taken out multiple restraining orders against me, but that's normal, right? Everyone's been sued by Jennifer Lawrence at some point, right? Right? Number 82. Sweden is also home to the second highest number of McDonald's restaurants per capita in all of Europe, with a mouth-watering 227 restaurants. That, by the way, is 23 restaurants per million people, which doesn't sound a lot, but is absolutely loads. Number 83. The world's first ice hotel was built...
I mean, in the United Kingdom, we've definitely got more McDonald's than Sweden per, like, a million people. I mean, we have a higher population, so of course we're going to have more. But per million people, we definitely have more McDonald's restaurants. 100%. I need to probably research that. But 23 per million does not sound much.
In the 1980s, in Jukkasjärvi, which is only a few miles away from the aforementioned northernmost Swedish town of Kiruna. The now famous ice hotel was designed by architect Ingiv Bergqvist and boasts 60 rooms that are available for bookings between December and April. Guests are given thermal jumpsuits to wear and sleep underneath several layers of
I've seen this mentioned in another video.
So that, you know, they don't die overnight in the -8 degrees Fahrenheit.
I don't think that'd be good, but you kind of have to experience it, I guess.
Hilariously, the ice hotel is now required by local authorities to include fire alarms, despite almost entirely being made of ice. Like it's in the name of the place. If it were called the Dry Grass and Lighter Fluid Hotel, maybe they'd have a point, but surely if there was a fire, you'd notice because the fucking place is melting.
I mean, it's still good for safety.
Number 85. The Esrange Space Center, again located only a few miles away from Kiruna, is a space and climate research center and is also Europe's only civilian rocket base. Rocket launches, balloon ascents and the testing of unmanned aircraft have all been carried out at this Swedish base. Number 86. A genuinely impressive Swedish feat regards the nation's incredible recycling habits. Sweden is so good at recycling that it's actually run out, and as such imports around 80,000 tonnes a year from Norway to give their neighbours a hand.
Yeah, that was covered in another video. That completely blows my mind, that
film
fact.
Life of Brian was released in 1979, Norway found its content so objectionable that it banned the movie, accusing the creators of blasphemy. They're not blasphemous, they're just very naughty boys. Norway's neighbours in Sweden, who are apparently much more chill about the whole blasphemy thing, ran ads for the film which exclaimed, "The film that's so funny it was banned in Norway." Oh, burn Swedes, good one. Number 88. In the early 70s, Sweden decided to capitalise on the economic growth of the up-and-coming best country in the world, North Korea, by sending them 1,000 Volvo 144s, expecting then leader Kim Il-sung to pay for them. Shocker, North Korea never paid for them. Since then, it's become somewhat of a tradition in Sweden to send North Korea a reminder every 6 months asking for the 300 million euro they are owed.
Wow.
Knowing full well that pigs will sooner fly. Number 89. Everyone loves Donald Duck, I mean look at him, but for some reason the people of Sweden really love Donald Duck, probably due to Donald's provocative semi-nudist fashion sense. In fact, Swedes love Donald Duck so much that the country had to make voting for him illegal, as his name would often be used when voters wanted to issue a protest vote, or just simply didn't care. What could go wrong with having a Donald in power? Oh, I see, okay.
I mean, yeah, I remember that in another video about Donald Duck. I mean, I didn't know the voting part, that he was so popular there to ban voting for him, but I know they actually prefer him to Mickey Mouse, which is kind of crazy because Mickey Mouse, I feel like, is like a global icon of Disney. He's like the face of Disney. So to see Donald Duck more popular, that kind of took me by surprise. But I do like Donald Duck, though. He's hilarious.
Number 90. Sweden has instituted a countrywide opt-in SMS system, which sends citizens a text message when someone nearby has a heart attack, allowing assistance to reach them as soon as possible to provide CPR.
We need that.
In
That's a
40%
good
of cases,
system.
ambulances were beaten to the scene of a heart attack by text message receivers. Number 91. Speaking of health-related text, in Sweden, blood donors receive a text message every time their blood is used to save a life.
Oh, that's
How
nice.
bloody lovely. Get it? Get it? Oh, it's fact 91. Give me a break. Number 92. When a fellow by the name of Eric of Pomerania was disposed after reigning as King of Sweden, as well as Norway and Denmark between 1389 and 1442, he apparently just said, F it, and became a pirate on the Baltic Sea for 10 years. Baller move, bro.
That
Number
is
93.
something I would never expect
Sweden
to
was
hear.
the first country to detect a nuclear disaster at Chernobyl, which the Soviet Union was desperately trying to keep quiet, when a worker set off radiation detectors at the Forsmark power plant. He had been contaminated while walking through grass that had been showered by radioactive rain picked up from Chernobyl over 800 miles away.
Oh.
Number 94. Sweden is the proud owner of one of the world's only taxidermied blue whales, located at its Natural History Museum. The public was previously allowed to walk inside it up until a couple was caught having sex inside it,
Oh
ruining
my
whale
God.
entering privileges for everyone, but probably getting a great anecdote in the process. Number 95. In 2011, a man in southern Sweden was arrested on charges of unauthorized possession of nuclear material, which he did actually have, simply because he wanted to see if it were possible to split an atom in his kitchen.
Man.
Number 96. Let's cut back to the 1980s. The Swedish Navy detected underwater sounds that they suspected to be hostile Russian submarines. The suspicion escalated to such a degree that it eventually became a full-blown diplomatic conflict between Sweden and Russia. It later turns out the sounds were, of all things, fish farts. Number 97. In 1967, Sweden
That is
switched
a
from
good
driving on
fact.
the left to driving on the right, which must have confused literally everyone and probably caused hundreds of car accidents. On the 3rd of September 1967, all vehicles came to a complete stop at 4:50 a.m. before switching lanes, then stopped again before proceeding at 5 p.m. Number 98. Bizarrely, in Sweden, drivers must have their headlights on at all times while driving, even in broad daylight. Number 99.
That would get quite
Of
annoying.
Sweden's top 20 surnames, only one of them, Lindberg, doesn't end in Sun.
Okay.
Number 100. In 2015, a Swedish man managed to convince the government to give him disability benefits by claiming that he was addicted to heavy metal. Roger Tolgren said that his love of the genre, which had compelled him to attend around 300 heavy metal concerts in the space of 1 year, had left him unable to work a full-time job. Wow, that is some
Wow,
truly
yeah, she got
brazen
paid for
bullshit.
that.
Good work, Rog. Number 101. There is nothing. For decades in Sweden, bars and clubs required an expensive license to allow their patrons to dance in their establishments. On a number of occasions, businesses had their licenses to sell alcohol revoked for hosting unlicensed dance parties, and many people were literally arrested. The frankly embarrassing law was finally repealed in 2016, and it's a good thing too, because I like to get my dancing shoes on. Coming at you, Stockholm. Although I should be arrested for that, really. Just sheer danceability. Anyway, that was 101 facts about Sweden. Which country, or indeed not country, anything else? What would you like to see next? Let me know in the comments below. And also, give this video a like and subscribe, of course. And also, there are 2 videos on screen right now. I think you're really going to like them.
Okay, so that video is really interesting about Sweden's inventions, just things they've influenced in the world, the words they've given to the world as well. And the funny fact about the fish farts was really surprising. But some of them I did know about, the ice hotel and stuff like that. But this was a very interesting video. And yeah, if you guys want more reaction videos to Sweden, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I definitely need to go there one day, visit all the museums, the landmarks, experience the culture and the food. A lot of stuff I need to experience. So if you guys want more reaction videos like this, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and go check out the original creator. Their link will be down in the description down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everyone.